Hello collectors, welcome to episode 14 of Statue Talk. I'm your host, Joe Prodzik. The Statue Talk is a show where I share with you my thoughts and opinions on upcoming statue previews, pre-orders, and other videos from around the web. So thanks for joining me on this week's episode. Now let's get started. As you may have noticed, I'm flying solo today. Quang Tran was so upset by that verbal thrashing I gave him on last week's episode that he couldn't show his face again this week. Actually, he had a engagement at school, something for his debate team. He's trying to get some extra credit at the university for. So that is what Quang is up to today. He can more than take my verbal thrashings. So this week, I haven't been focusing a lot on my statue room this week. Did have my birthday on Wednesday and got some cool stuff that I'll show you a little bit later. And then last Saturday, we got a new puppy, an 8-week-old Siberian Husky. So now apparently we're collecting dogs. But that has been taking up a lot of my time this week, cleaning up a lot of poop and pee off the floor, trying to get this little guy potty trained, and he just likes to get his teeth around everything. So I've been trying to keep him from chewing everything up and making the house a mess. So that's largely what my week has been about. I did finally get to start Uncharted 4, which I am really enjoying, but honestly, I might need a little bit of a break soon because I played all the first 3 Uncharted games back to back, and now I'm jumping straight into 4. So that's a lot of Uncharted, but I am liking the new game. I don't know if I'll take a break before finishing it, as the game isn't quite that long and it is really good. So that's what I've been doing this week. I haven't been really watching any movies or TV. I was able to do some comic book reading. Caught up on Batman, Robin Eternal, and then even popped over to Marvel, started reading some the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. I finished that series, and then I started to pick up some of the more recent Marvel books like the Uncanny Inhumans. I started with that. For my Marvel books, I tend to not get hard copies. I go with the Marvel Unlimited app, where you basically pay $60 a year, and then you get to read as much comics as you want. Marvel is constantly updating their back catalog, but they put all new issues in there. They're just about 6 months behind on the newest issues, which is fine for me because I'm always behind on my comic book reading. I think Batman is on issue 51, and I am on issue 48 right now. I'm still trying to get caught up with that. So that's what's going on with me this week. Now let's check out this week's previews and pre-orders. So first up, I'm going to start with some smaller statues. These 3 statues here from DC Collectibles. First up is another bombshell statue. This one is of Katana. I think these bombshell statues are really cool. Katana is $129.99 on the DC Collectibles website. You can generally get her for a little bit cheaper on other toy store websites, so I would recommend doing that. I personally like Big Bad Toy Store, but there are many out there. So she's about 9 inches tall and fits along with the other bombshell statues from DC Collectibles. Then we have a DC Comics Designer Series statue, Wonder Woman by Adam Hughes. This is a 12-inch statue, and she is priced as well at $129.99 as well. And she's going to arrive December 2016. That Katana statue is January of 2017. So Wonder Woman is a little bit bigger, but they're similarly priced because the bombshells have a little bit more details on them. And then also from DC Collectibles is the Cover Girls of the DC Universe Harley Quinn version 3, a second edition. So this is the smaller scale Harley Quinn statue. Looks pretty cool. Very kind of old school Harley Quinn look. She is priced at $99.99. Again, you can generally get these cheaper from toy stores around the web, or maybe even your local comic book shop. This one is about 8.5 inches tall. Now I have a couple of DC Collectible statues in my collection. I have Arkham Knight Batman, and I have a John Romita Jr. Superman. So I really like them. They are reasonably priced, and they are smaller statues. I also have 3 of the Batman black and white statues, so I like having some of those smaller pieces from DC as sort of accent pieces to go along with the quarter scale that I normally collect. So next up is a interesting and unique statue. This is a statue by Hollywood Collectibles Group. I'm not sure if I've featured them here on the show before. This is the Edward Scissorhands exclusive quarter scale statue. This price is $499.95. It's available to pre-order on the HCG website. I'll post a link in the description of the video. So I've never ordered anything from Hollywood Collectibles Group, but they do some kind of unique characters. This is Edward Scissorhands from that classic Tim Burton movie. He's 24 inches tall, and this exclusive edition comes with a 6-inch tall ice sculpture of Edward's father, played by Vincent Price. So the exclusive edition is limited to 150 pieces, which is really good. And then the regular edition is, I think, 600 pieces. This is supposed to be out in the fourth quarter of 2016. Now, I don't know much about Hollywood Collectibles Group, but on their website here, they have a variety of payment options. So if that $500 is a little bit too much for you, you can do up to 9 monthly payments of $50 and one final payment of $49.95 plus shipping. They have 8 pay, 6 pay, 4 pay. So a lot of different payment options from Hollywood Collectibles Group. So if you collect movie statues, and I have a couple movie statues in my collection. I have Pinhead, I have the T-800, and I'll be picking up Rocky Balboa later this year. So if you're a Tim Burton fan and Edward Scissorhands, which I really like the movie, but I don't do too many movie statues. I gotta really like the movie and the character to pick up a movie statue, because I collect more comic book pieces. But if you like movies and you're a fan of Tim Burton, then this Edward Scissorhands statue could be for you. Looks really cool. A lot of good details in the Scissorhands. So it looks like a pretty decent statue. $500 is around the price that a lot of quarter scale statues have been going for lately. And I do really like the exclusive option of that Vincent Price bust. It was a really cool movie, really cool character. And this is Edward Scissorhands from the Hollywood Collectibles Group. So next up is a statue from Iron Studios that a lot of people are excited about. Why are people excited about? Because you can order this on the Sideshow website. This is the Black Panther from Iron Studios. This is based on the Black Panther from Captain America Civil War. It has a lot of nice details on it. It is quarter scale. So if you're a fan of that Black Panther from that movie, that style, which is a little bit more, similar in style to how they do the costume of Captain America. It's more realistic looking and more textured and detailed. And one thing that I've been impressed with from Iron Studios so far, now again, these are prototypes. I haven't seen an Iron Studios statue in person, but like their Spider-Man that's coming out in a couple months, this Black Panther has some really cool details in it. So it's cool that as a US collector, we can get them here in the United States by going through Sideshow. So he is available for pre-order on the Sideshow website for $599.99. And as always, you can do a payment plan on him for as little as, says, $90 a month. And he's expected to ship October 2016 to December 2016. So Sideshow lately has been putting a 3-month window on their pre-orders. I always plan on them being available in that third month for my budget, and sometimes they usually do get pushed back a lot of the time, but you know, that statue collecting, this piece isn't for me because, like I said, with Edward Scissorhands, I have to really like the movie and really like the character. And for Marvel pieces, I go comic books for my collection, but I do really like the look of this Black Panther. It's a cool, modern take on the character. So that statue is available to order on the Sideshow website, and I'll post a description post a link in the description of the video. So if you want to go get some business done with Sideshow, click on that link and go ahead and order that Black Panther statue from Iron Studios. So next up is a statue for all you Star Wars fans out there. This is a smaller scale statue from Kotobukiya. It's actually a set of statues. This is the 1/10 scale Dagobah, Yoda, and R2-D2 Artifacts Plus set. Now, I couldn't find this set on the Kotobukiya website yet, but it is available on toy store websites. $64.99 is the asking price. It has a dirty R2-D2, a little Yoda, so 1/10 scale Yoda, that's got to be really small. And then it has a ghost version of Yoda. So I do really like these smaller scale statues from Kotobukiya. He's expected to arrive around November of 2016. But if you're going to pick up any of those other Kotobukiya sets, then you know, this one would be really cool to get. So Yoda and R2-D2 1/10 scale Dagobah set from Kotobukiya. So now we have another smaller scale statue from Kotobukiya. This one isn't a 1/10 scale. This is the Marvel Universe Thanos fine art statue. So this Kotobukiya's fine art statues are actually 1/6 scale. They're a little bit bigger, and so they are a little bit more expensive. This Thanos statue is $299.99. It could be ordered on the Kotobukiya website. This is says Thanos strikes an intimidating pose, one hand pulled back in a fist, the other ready to unleash the power of the stones in his infinity gauntlet. So this is a very comic booky looking statue. I would really love to have a Thanos statue in my collection, and I have heard nothing but good things about these fine art statues from Kotobukiya. This is a little bit of a different take on the character, but it is very modern looking. Like I said, very comic booky. This would make a cool accent piece in a collection. You have larger scale statues. Personally, for me, I'm going to be waiting for that large quarter scale statue that Sideshow was working on. But if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper, a little bit smaller, you're a 1/6 statue collector, then this could be a good one to have in your collection. The uniform does look really good, and he does have two different face sculpts. One where he's just kind of smiling, and the other where he's grimacing. So it does look really cool, and you can order that on the Kotobukiya website now. Let me see if it says, his expected release date is December 2016. So go check out that Marvel Universe Thanos fine art statue by Kotobukiya. Now it's time to talk some Prime 1 Studios, a company that a lot of people are excited about. Known for their Transformers statues, they recently came out with a set of 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle statues based on the more recent movies. They're also doing a set of classic movie statues. But this is a little preview from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows movie coming out soon. This looks like a teaser for a Krang statue. So I think this is the first I've seen of or even heard of Krang being in that movie. But looks like he's going to be, from what I can see, pretty cool looking. Still need to see that brain down in there, right? But, you know, Prime 1 Studios is going to do a great job with those, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. And we have Two-Face here from the 1/3 Batman Arkham Knight line from Prime 1. Now, they originally said that this was going to be out for pre-order, towards the end of the year, but I guess they're going to be actually bumping up some of their Batman pre-orders so they can focus on some of their other licenses. So this is Prime 1 released a full gallery of this Two-Face statue, and it's said to be totally sculpted, no mixed media here. And so now that we're seeing a full gallery, we can expect this pre-order to pop up on the Sideshow website very soon. This isn't going to be a character for me, just because space is a concern for me, and I have my eye on Scarecrow as adding another villain to my collection. But this statue, pains me to say that, this statue looks really cool. I just think if I'm going to have an Arkham Knight collection for me, I want Scarecrow. But, it's surprising that they said this statue was fully sculpted. If you look at that tie and you look at that vest and jacket, it looks like it's material. So they've done an excellent job with that Two-Face statue. So I think they said the coin was going to be die cast. And then the exclusive edition comes with the regular edition comes with a pistol in his right hand, and the exclusive edition comes with what looks like a handheld grenade launcher. So I expect this one to sell out fast, at least the exclusive edition. I really like the base on this statue because, it has two sort of gargoyle faces, and then one is scarred up like one half of Two-Face and the other is clean like the other half of Two-Face, so it's really cool. All these Arkham Knight statues do have very, very similar bases, but they're all a little bit different, and they all have a kind of match the statue a little bit. So this is the next 1/3 scale from Prime 1 Studios, looking really cool. I'll post when that pre-order pops up. I'll post it on my Facebook page, and it'll pop up on my website. So stay tuned to those two places, or the Prime 1 Studio Collectors group on Facebook to be notified when that Two-Face comes out for pre-order. I think it will go fast. So check out those places and stay tuned for more from Prime 1 Studios. So now we have a couple of teasers from Pop Culture Shock. First up, we'll cover what is a character from a new license. This is the Marquis statue. Now this Marquis statue, is this from Overwatch or is it from, what's that other game called? There's two games, Overwatch and something else. Battleborn. I think this is from Overwatch. Let me double check that for you real quick. No, sorry, this is from Battleborn. So PCS has a new license with Battleborn, and this is their first statue from that video game line. This is the Marquis statue. I don't know a lot about that game. I get it confused with Overwatch. I know one of them is doing really good and one of them is not doing so well, and I'm not sure really which is which. So this is them working on the Marquis statue from that line. And then we have, they showed us a preview of Oni before. Now they're showing us another little teaser here, so I know Street Fighter fans are really excited to see more of that statue. And then we have Scorpion from Mortal Kombat 10. So it looks like he's going to be the next character from that line, and I am going to keep my eye on this one because I do have a 1/3 scale Sub-Zero, though not from Mortal Kombat X. So I do think I need to add a Scorpion to my collection as well. Got to have those two iconic characters if you're going to have Mortal Kombat, right? So I'll be keeping my eye out for that one. And then one that I'm really excited about is they're working on another 1/4 scale Zangief statue. This one is going to be from Street Fighter V. So their previous Zangief Street Fighter statue is considered a grail, and it's expensive to get one, $2-3 to get one, and even more expensive for the Mecha Zangief, the mechanized version of him. So I know that this is going to be a big statue that people are going to want to get their hands on. I think I'm going to try to pick up as many of those Street Fighter V statues as I can. I'm still waiting for some more content, single player content, to come out for Street Fighter V. I'd love to play more of that game. But as someone who doesn't really like to play online multiplayer, I was disappointed in the single player content from that game. Though I do still love the art and the characters and stuff. And we'll want to jump into that game more when there's more story content and more single player game modes. And then they also, Pop Culture Shock teased some production pics from RoboCop, who is hopefully coming soon. I know it's been a long wait for collectors. I think this guy was on pre-order. This guy was on pre-order before I was even aware of Pop Culture Shock. So a couple of years now, collectors have been waiting this guy. But it looks like they're going to get him soon. I'm sure PCS has been working hard and wanting to make sure the statue is up to their high standards. So hopefully anyone who pre-ordered this guy is going to get him soon. It looks really cool. This is a movie statue that I would consider as one of those classic 80s movies that I loved as a kid. Yes, I watched it as a kid. Really violent movie. But it was fine. I remember sitting in the theater when I was like 5 years old watching the original Terminator movie, and I didn't go crazy over it, so it was fine. I know. But RoboCop was a really cool movie. I still like to go back and watch it now. I have it on Blu-ray, so hopefully that statue will be coming to collectors soon. And then we have a little picture of Pop Culture Shock taking pictures of their 1/3 Conan statue, so that means we'll see a pre-order for him soon. So next up, let's talk some Sideshow Collectibles, the big daddy of statue collecting. This week they came out with the pre-order for their first order, a Stormtrooper exclusive edition. So this statue is available for pre-order now. It's priced at $499.99, higher than I expected. Really, a lot higher than I expected. That Sand Trooper's around $429.99. So this first order Stormtrooper is quite a bit more expensive. And yeah, $75 is, really not that expensive, but it's pretty significant for a 1/4 scale statue, especially when you consider that the first order Stormtrooper looks a lot more plain than that Sand Trooper. But it is a different license, so it could be that the Force Awakens license is a little bit more expensive, or it could be just that Sideshow wants to make some more money. So it is what it is. We can't do much about it other than pay it or don't. Choice is yours. But I gotta say, I really like it. I really, really like this Stormtrooper statue. I can feel the pull of, a Star Wars line starting to pull me in. It's tugging at me, saying, order me, Joe, order me. And right now, Sideshow, free US shipping. So if you think that price tag is too much, you can save some bucks on the shipping costs in the United States. So order that guy. I think he looks really cool. I'm tempted to start an episode 7 line. What is the exclusive on this guy? I'm not finding. So the exclusive is a little blaster pistol on his right leg that's attached there. So not a killer exclusive, but anytime you can get something extra for the same price as a regular, you might as well. So these new Star Wars statues, Sideshow has been doing something different. They've been putting out an edition size at the same time the pre-order. So it's a limited edition of 1,000. You can pre-order him on the Sideshow website now. He's expected to ship April to June of 2017. And I say hallelujah to that. Finally, we're pushing statues into the middle of the year. I have a lot of statues in that first quarter just been jamming up, and it's kind of been frustrating a little bit. All those pre-orders that have been coming up are around that first quarter time, so it's been hard to say no to a lot of statues. I've had to cut some statues off the list. I had to make some room for that Prime 1 Robin piece. I can feel the allure of this, the Stormtrooper. I think the dark side is pulling me in a little bit. Stormtrooper or Kylo Ren, maybe I can just focus on that. Episode 7 statues. What do you guys think? Should I make room? I don't have room in my room for another line, but I love Star Wars. I have a couple Star Wars pieces, so this is really tempting for me. If you want to order this on the Sideshow website, post a link in the description of the video. Go get some business done with Sideshow Collectibles. So also, Sideshow Collectibles, we got a little preview of their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. I got an email on Friday for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles art print, which officially isn't out for pre-order until Monday, but Sideshow picks customers out and sends them an email, give them an option to order early. So what's really cool about this email is it came with a little preview of the Leonardo statue. Looks kind of cool. They're doing a more realistic take on the statue. A different take than any other company has done. And the goddamn, I'm saying a lot in this freaking video. But the art print looks really cool. It does say that I think the turtles are going to have exclusive red bandanas. So you want to get those turtles soon. I'm looking forward to seeing more of them. I'm not completely sold on the design yet. I want to see more before I commit to them. And luckily I don't have to commit to them until there's a full gallery out. But I'm excited to see more about this. I don't think I'm going to pick up the art print. I'm really struggling with room on the walls for where I'm going to put the art that I already have. And plus I have a couple art prints, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff I need to put up. I have a signed Kevin Eastman print. Then I have an original sketch, which is sitting in a book that I still haven't put up yet. So this picture will be quite a bit bigger and will probably look pretty great along with those turtle sets. So I'll have to think about that over the weekend. They're not, they're a little bit high priced, these art sets. Very limited to 200 by Paulo Rivera. It's $240, but that's framed. So, a nice frame is really expensive, especially one that's matted like this. It's really expensive. This is going to come out in a couple of months, so this is probably going to come out a year before the turtles come out. But I'm really excited to see what Sideshow has in store for these turtles. Hopefully they're somewhat reasonably priced, hopefully in the $400 range. If they're in the $400 range, then that is going to be tempting for me to get the set, especially if they're in the middle of the year and I have some room in my budget and my collection for that. I don't know if I have room in my room, but yeah, especially if I want to do Star Wars too. It's a crazy hobby. So many statues, so little room. so little money, you know. I'm lucky to be have the money that I do have for statues, but you always want more, right? It's an addiction. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Sideshow Collectibles. All right, let's get down to XM Studios. First up, statue I'm excited about. This is the Iron Fist. I'm not a big fan of Iron Fist. I've never read any of his books, but I have watched him in that Spider-Man television show on, I think it's Disney XD. So I am a little bit familiar with the character, but this statue looks really cool. Looks like we're getting two separate figures. You know, you have one doing a flying kick in the air, and then there's another where he's kind of more in a kung fu pose. The flying kick one has a shirt on. The kung fu pose is shirtless. The torso's different. The legs are different. So it looks like we're getting two completely different figures on the statue, which is a really cool, really neat idea. The only thing that concerns me, a lot of people said they don't like the standing pose, but I actually really like it. I probably like it more than the flying kick pose, to be honest with you. The thing that concerns me about the flying kick pose is whether or not the rod is going to be showing. So in the Daredevil statue and the Black Bolt statue, depending on what angle you're at, you can see the metal rod that's holding them up. That's one of my complaints with those statues. So I'm concerned about that with this XM statue, but I think this is going to look like a killer statue. It's one I'm definitely interested in, but it will be a little bit expensive here in the United States. So I don't know if I'm that interested in it, because if I'm going to pay that much money for a statue, it better be a character that I like and that I love and that I really want. Otherwise, I'll end up canceling it or selling it or trading it. You know, I don't really want to go down that road, but it does look really cool. Now we have, looks like a printed Lady Sif from XM Studios. Now this is, I would say this would be a companion piece for the Thor statue, but the Thor statue is kind of plain, right? And this Lady Sif is really detailed and really cool looking, has a detailed base, has a lot of details around her costume. So a lot different than that plain Thor statue. So I'm not sure they would go well together. She has much more details than that Thor. So, but she's looking really good by herself, looking like a really cool statue. Now, speaking of XM Studios, I want to go back a little bit to last week's question of the week, where we talked about why would Sideshow use polystone while XM Studios uses cold cast porcelain. Now, I thought there might have been a different manufacturing reason for that. Now, I'm not really up to speed on why that might take place. But Geoman wrote in and he says, great job, my brother, is so much content. Joseph likes, look great, bro. No need to worry about doubling DTOF shelves unless it's well over 20 kilograms. As I've seen a video of a guy put two 20 kilogram plates on one pane of glass and leave it there for a week with no issues. So Geo's talking about my advice to Kwong where he doubled up his DTOF last week. And what the hell is a kilogram? Just kidding. In the United States, we use pounds. We don't know the metric system. Oh, I know the metric system. But he also says, I think another difference between polystone and the cold cast porcelain is their reaction to heat. We have seen Sideshow pieces lean in hot climates, and with Singapore being hot a lot of the year round, the idea was to combat that. Softening, which causes pieces to fall over, was to use a material which holds better in the heat. It's funny as the prices between XM and Sideshow are almost the same for us in the UK. Darkseid cost about 50 pounds less. What the hell is a pound? We got kilograms, we got pounds. What the hell is Geo talking about? So Darkseid cost him about 50 pounds less than his XM Thanos. That's interesting. Much love, boys. So that's from Geoman, and he makes a good point about why XM Studios might have chosen cold cast porcelain. That's because over in Asia and in Singapore in particular, it's a hot a lot of the year, and it's very humid there. So I've seen some pictures of statues like the Daredevil premium format from Sideshow, leaning and breaking over in hotter climates. So that is a good point, because cold cast porcelain, if you think about regular porcelain, it's usually set in, it's usually heated up. Like if you think of a clay pot and you mold it in the clay and you put it in the oven, that's what they do with regular porcelain too. But cold cast porcelain means it's not, put in the heat. So it's not as affected as that hot climate is going to be. So that's probably why XM Studios chose that type of material. And that makes a lot of sense. For me here in California, yes, it does get hot, but it doesn't get humid up here in Northern California too much. So plus I have my air conditioning running like all the time, at least my girls do. So it's not really an issue for me, but that might be something for collectors to consider depending on where you live, how hot it gets, how humid it gets. The difference between polystone, it will be more likely to lean, and the cold cast porcelain may be less likely to lean. So that's something to take into consideration. It's interesting that Jackou Maas says he's from the UK, so he says that he can get XM Studio statues for around the same price that he can get one of the bigger Sideshow statues from. So that's really cool. We don't have to pay too much more in the United States for the XM Studio statue, depending on which one, but that shipping cost really is a kick in the gut. Someone recently posted that the XM Studios Medusa, with that big dog inside, he's paying like $350 in shipping. So that's the biggest difference for buying an XM Studio statue. Not necessarily the cost of the statue, but that shipping cost is crazy. Now, for those of you that are looking for some XM Studio statues in the United States, I know that Big Bad Toy Store had some in stock just a couple of days ago. I almost pulled the trigger on a Hawkeye statue myself, but then I got a shipping notice for a processing notice for another big Sideshow piece, so I didn't pull the trigger on that. Really like that Hawkeye statue. Would think that's the one I want for my Avengers display, but another statue got bumped up, so I didn't pull the trigger. But Big Bad Toy Store has some in stock, so go check out that website, and they have them from around cost, and probably I don't know how much the shipping is for those pieces, but go ahead and check that out. And thanks to Jackou Maas for letting me know about that cold cast porcelain. So that's it for this week's previews and pre-orders. Now let's get to my collection update. So this week I took a little bit of a break from my collection room. I spent a lot of time in the past couple weeks moving stuff around, putting up lights, and there is one thing I want to do in my my PAX units is I want to put some tape up there to hide those cords. I was at Target and looking for some tape, but I didn't find any that I liked. Michael Roberts posted Duck brand black colored tape that he uses to hide the cords in his cabinets. So I'm going to be adding that to my Amazon cart and bringing that in just to have it a little bit cleaner look there. As far as statues go, I haven't put anything on pre-order in the past couple of weeks. All the statues that have come out lately, like the Alien King, the First Order Stormtrooper, haven't really fit my collection, so I've been waiting for some other statues to come out. Looking forward to seeing those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I did get a processing notice that the Prime 1 Studio Batman from Arkham Knight is going to be coming June 1st. So I was initially expecting him on June 3rd, but then yesterday morning I got an email saying that, guess what? He arrived early. Do you want us to charge you early? I said, yes, charge me early. Spend my money. I want to get that guy as soon as possible. Because actually I didn't have any statue expenditures for this month, and it's getting a little crowded next month, so I was happy that he's going to be coming early. So he should hopefully ship out today, and maybe I'll have him Monday or Tuesday. I'm expecting him on Tuesday. So if I get him in on Tuesday, you can expect an unboxing video that same night. I'll get that open, put together as quickly as possible. Probably my most anticipated piece. Finally get to see a Prime 1 statue in person. And I got this section of my packs here waiting and ready for him. These two areas here are reserved for Prime 1 1/3 scale statues. So as of right now, I have a Batman, I have Arkham Knight, I have Deathstroke, which looks killer. I have Robin, and then I have the Batman Noel. Still on the fence about the Batman Noel. He'll probably sit over someplace different, but he looks really cool too. And every time I think about canceling, I bring up his gallery and I just can't pull the trigger. So I did add some smaller stuff to my collection this week. It was my birthday on Wednesday, and I got a couple of birthday presents that I'll share with you. You saw last week's episode of Statue Talk. Kwong gave this Captain America Civil War pop figure for me, so that's really cool. And then my daughter got me Agent Carter pop figure, which I don't know if you know, I really love Agent Carter. Haley Atwell is, I think, is just a gorgeous and beautiful woman, and I really actually enjoy that show a lot. Just recently got canceled, but I'll be missing that show. So I don't collect a lot of pop figures, but they make good accent pieces to go kind of with my comic books, where I display them, well, not display them, but like my graphic novels where I have them out on the bookshelf. Put these pop figures out there with those. And then my wife actually got me this book here for my birthday. This is the Absolute Batman Incorporated. So not only did she pick that up for me, but she actually got me a signed copy of the statue. So you can see it's signed and it has a sketch. Now, I really do like the art in this series, so that was really cool. And I do have a small collection of these Absolute Batman graphic novels. They're big format, and if you know about this book, it has a great death in there, great story on that's sort of gone throughout the Batman comics more recently. So this was a really important series for modern New 52 Batman. So I already have the smaller editions of those, but anytime I can get an absolute version, I absolutely love it. So my wife did a great job by getting me one that has a sketch inside. And then also, this came in a couple weeks ago, but Kwong bought me Uncharted 4 for my birthday, which I've been playing. Was originally going to do an unboxing for it, but when I opened the box, it was just like 3 things inside, and it wasn't all that impressive, so doing a video of that really didn't make much sense. But it did come with this little Nathan Drake statue. Excuse me. So it did come with this little Nathan Drake statue. And for a collector's edition, it's not bad. Definitely had better collector's edition statues, like the Ryu statue. But I've definitely had worse collector edition statues too. So Nathan Drake, you gotta get the collector's edition, Uncharted 4. So it's not bad for, which is basically, the regular video game is $59.99. The collector's edition is like $120. So, probably a $30 statue that you get here. What I really liked, it also came with a small, tiny little Art of Uncharted 4 book. I don't really know what anybody does with these small little books. They're interesting to flip through once, but they're really tiny. I gotta make a tiny little bookshelf for these tiny little books. Street Fighter Collector's Edition was the same thing. What was really cool is the steelbook that they put with the game. This is like one of the best steelbooks of video game edition that I've ever had. So I really thought that was really cool. So, Kwong couldn't be here for this week's episode because, like I said, he's doing a school thing during the time that we usually shoot. But I really appreciate all the gifts, and thank you to everybody who posted happy birthday messages on my Facebook. I don't usually say thank you, but when I do, you're welcome. So this week's question of the week, I'm kind of unprepared for this week. Kwong had a question ready. I think his question was going to be like a comic book question. He wanted to know if Magneto can control Thor's hammer. And initially I said no, because Thor's hammer is made of a Asgardian metal and it's magical. Magneto hasn't shown any ability to control magical items, but he has done some stuff with it in some different comics. He has been able to control it in a comic book or two. So I guess for that it depends on the writer. I would initially say no, but that was going to be Kwong's question of the week, and I told him, Kwong, when we do comic book talk, then that can be the question for you. So what I want to know is what character that you want made into a statue. So pick a character that hasn't been made into a statue or hasn't been made into a quarter scale statue and tell me what character you would like to see. Would you like to see Agent Peggy Carter made into a statue? Would you like to see the Daredevil from the Netflix TV series made into a statue? For me, a statue that I would really like, I know they did a Bowen version of the statue, but I would really like a quarter scale Adam Warlock statue made. He's not a character that's around in comic books a lot, but he was a central figure in the Infinity Gauntlet series, and he was one of my favorite characters growing up because I loved that cosmic universe. I loved that Infinity Gauntlet series in particular. Adam Warlock comes in at the end and grabs the Infinity Gauntlet. So I have signed versions of those comics. I have Infinity War, I have Infinity Crusade. I have the first appearance of Adam Warlock in my collection. I have several issues of Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch. Is that what that series was called? But I really loved that character. I like all that cosmic universe stuff. Thanos and Silver Surfer and Doctor Strange got into the mix. So I'd really like to see Adam Warlock with the Infinity Gauntlet done. I prefer by Sideshow because I'd love to see some mixed media thrown in there, with his cape and everything. It'll be interesting to see if that character is included in the Infinity War movies by Marvel. His cocoon was in the back of that shop in Guardians of the Galaxy, so it'll be interesting to see if he'll be included. It's going to be a shame that a lot of those cosmic characters won't be included because I think it's Fox has Fantastic Four, and so they have the Silver Surfer and probably Galactus and lots of those other characters. So those characters were pivotal and important to that storyline, really, really pivotal characters. So that's what I'd like to see Adam Warlock. So let me know, what character would you like to see made into a statue? Either one that hasn't been done at a larger scale or one that hasn't been done at all. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section of the video, and we'll share some of your opinions in next week's episode. So this week's featured video is from Jackou Maas. Now, I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong, Jackou Maas, but I think this is a very cool video. This is the Maestro from Halimaw statue. So Maestro is a popular comic in the Marvel universe, really powerful, really strong comic. I think most recently he was appeared in Secret Wars, and he was also in the Spider-Man 2099 series, which I really like. I don't know a lot about the character, not a huge fan of the character, but this Maestro statue from Halimaw looks crazy, and so make sure you check out that video from Jackou Maas. This is Maestro from Halimaw. Check him out, subscribe to his channel, give him some thumbs up. I think this is a really cool video and a neat looking statue. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Statue Talk. Quang Tran should be back for next week's episode, so we'll have a lot more conversation regarding next week's previews and pre-orders. Let me know what you think of some of the topics I covered in this week's episode in the comment section below. I may even share some of your comments or questions on next week's episode. Now, if you're an addict like me and you can't wait a whole week for the latest statue previews and pre-orders, then check out my website, statuereview.com. Give me a like on Facebook. I try to share all the news and previews and pre-orders from around social media to those two places. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all of my latest unboxing and statue reviews. I was shooting the XM Studios Black Bolt review this week, and that'll be posted on Monday, 12 p.m. Pacific time on my channel. So make sure you subscribe to get a little notification when that comes up. A really cool statue. I had a good time reviewing it. And then next week, I should have an unboxing of that Prime 1 Batman for you. And then a review in the next couple of weeks. So remember, statue collecting is more than just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. This has been Joe Prodzik for Statue Review. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for sticking around. Normally you're going to find bloopers at the end of an episode, but since Quang wasn't here this week for me to pick on him and banter back and forth, I don't think there's going to be much bloopers. So I wanted to give you a little bit extra on this week's episode for hanging around. You know, I've been rearranging my statue collecting room, and I think it's almost where at a place where I want to show it, but I'm having a hard time figuring out where all of my art is going to go. I have this Jim Lee Batman, a portrait that my brother got me for my birthday that I need to put up. I have a huge Metal Gear Solid 5 poster that I need to put up, although I'm thinking of getting rid of that one. And I just wanted to share with you a couple of the other art pieces that I have that I'm looking to put up. So my Star Wars special, I showed some of the Star Wars art prints. I have no idea what I'm going to do with those, but there is some other art that I wanted to show you I need to put up. This is the Batman animated series. I got to meet Kevin Conroy at the Wizard World Comic Con, and he signed this picture for me. It says, "To Joe, I am Batman." It was great to meet Kevin Conroy. I actually was a little bit embarrassed because I told him that I loved him, and I've never said that to another grown man in my life, but was a little starstruck by Batman. Yeah, told him that I loved him, so that was funny, but I'm sure he's probably used to it. I got a little flubbered in my when I was talking to him, so I got a picture of him too. So it was cool to meet Kevin Conroy. I have the Superman statue from Superman print. I have a lot of art from Greg Horn, so this is a Superman from him. Of course, I need a Superman statue to go with that, don't I? I'm waiting for a more modern version of that character. And I have this also by Greg Horn, Sub-Zero, which I got to go along with that 1/3 scale statue from Pop Culture Shock. So I like to have a little piece of art from the statues that I have. No idea where I'm going to put that, but I know where I'm going to put this. I've got to get it framed up. Spider-Man from Greg Horn. I really like Greg Horn's art. That's why I pick up a lot of his stuff, and it's, you know, it's a similar theme. It's a similar style, so it kind of gives the room a similar feel. I have a lot of Gotham and Batman pieces from him. He generally is at every Wizard World there is, and so I head straight to his booth to check that out. Now here's some art that I have no idea where I'm going to put. I got this Slipknot art print from a concert that I went to. Really cool. And then I have this Lamb of God autographed print that I have from their last album. Bought the collector's edition. Not only my sucker for collector's editions of statues and video games, but also music. You know, the best way to support a band that you like is to buy physical copies of their stuff, t-shirts, collector's editions, etc. If you really like them, more of your money goes towards them if you buy physical. So I do that to support the bands that I really love. So I have this autographed art print. I also have an autographed album from them as well that I really don't have. It doesn't fit with the collection of comic books, but album was a great present for my wife, and the art print is really cool from my favorite band. So I got to find a spot for that. This is a picture from my wife. She got to meet, what is this guy's name? I know it's Spike from Buffy. James Marsden? Yeah, so she got this autographed by him at the Wizard World. It says, "To Carissa, bite me." He was a really, really cool dude. Band was playing nearby too, and he was really friendly to my wife, so that was really cool. Also by Greg Horn. This one by Greg Horn, yeah. Greg Horn too. This is Doctor Who. I got this for my daughter. I've just only recently started watching Doctor Who. I think I've gotten into 2 or 3 episodes. Really enjoying it so far, but this is my daughter's favorite Doctor, so I bought that art print for her. It won't be in my room, but I gotta get framed up for her. And then on the back, this guy, Sheamus from WWE, was my daughter's favorite wrestler. She got to meet him at Wizard World. Really cool, really nice dude. I think he's Bebop or Rocksteady in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. So really nice to my wife and daughter too. And then I have this small print of Pinhead, hand signed by Clive Barker. A really cool art print. I got this with the NECA Hellraiser set. This signed art print came with him. I have a couple of signed Clive Barker and Hellraiser stuff. I have that, and then I have a autographed picture of Doug Bradley Pinhead that I have displayed with my Pinhead. And then I have a signed copy of the Scarlet Gospels by Barker's most recent book that features Pinhead in it. I haven't read the book yet. I want to get it digitally so I don't ruin that hard copy. So that's some of the odds and ends of my art. I'm running out of wall space. Putting up these big paxes really kind of hindered my wall space. But I might display some of the arts against the back of the packs, but just wanted to share that with you as a bonus to this week's video rather than the bloopers. So I'm looking to figure out where to put all that art. I know where I'm going to put some of it, but the Star Wars art, the Superman art, some of that other odds and ends stuff, I don't know exactly where I'm going to put. So that's what I'm currently trying to figure out in my collection. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out at the end of this video, and I will see you next week.